This is the Independent Dealer Podcast. Education by dealers for dealers. Now, here are your hosts, Luke Godwin and Jeff Watson.
Hello and welcome to the Independent Dealer Podcast, brought to you by Buckeye Dealership Consulting. It has been a great start to the year, Luke. How about you? Your January was amazing. February is just rocking and rolling.
Well, yeah, I mean, you were on vacation for half of it. Of course, it's good for you. But,
I wasn't talking about sales. I was talking about my tan.
Oh, your tan is looking great, buddy. You're not blinding me with your big dome right now.
Thanks, appreciate that. It's been a little slow on the retail side and the buy here, pay here side as far as selling cars. We brought in some experts, some guys we know that know the retail space, and they know the struggles that I think a lot of dealers are facing right now as we kind of like hold our breath, waiting to see if there's going to be a tax time. Yeah, Luke?
Yeah, but it seems like retail dealers that know what they're doing and they do it the right way, they seem to make it through even when times get tough. And if you're like me, sometimes I root for these tough times to root out the bad dealers and the people who don't do it right so we can make more money. So, with that being said, Hubert, thanks for being on the podcast again, and reintroduce yourself and the special guest you got with you.
Okay, great. Thanks. It's good to be with y'all again. My name is Hubert Keller. The dealership I have is called Keller's Auto Sales. We're in beautiful Savannah, Georgia. We've been open, I think, 18 years now. And it's been up and down, but so far so good. I mean, I think we did 1,160 cars, I think it was last year. So we average about 100 a month. And this is John. I brought John on because I'm more of the wholesale buying side. John's my brother-in-law. We married sisters and he got the younger one. I got the older one. But anyway, yeah, I got the bossy one.
I won't comment.
But yeah, he better not comment. Be in trouble. I'm always in trouble. But yeah, he started in sales and he still is in sales. He's more active in sales than anything, but he does manage the front end, and then I kind of stay in the back. So John will have a good insight to, the financing, the numbers, that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
that's the nutshell.
We're trying to break this 50-50, Jeff, with some buy here, pay here, some retail dealers, and it's great to have retail dealers on. But in the last 6 months, what we've been hearing, Jeff, is how it's getting harder and harder to be the retail dealer when interest rates are going up, banks are pulling out. Is that what y'all are seeing?
Well, to be quite honest, the way Hubert has, started this whole dealership, we do see a lot of, people a little cautious about the interest rates, things like that. But we're in this little niche market where we're still everybody still needs a vehicle, but interest rates aren't that vital when, we're $10, $12, $13, $14,000. Maybe so when you're going to buy $30,000, $40,000 pre-owned vehicle, they may hit a little harder. So, I mean, we're still seeing some pullback, but I mean, not to the extent of what, I'm seeing online through other dealers.
So your average price is in that $15,000 range?
I'd say, that's kind of like our comfort spot.
Yeah. And like everybody, it's moved up over the years. We used to be in the 8s, and then the last few years, I would say definitely in the 13s. I think we did a little report. I think that's kind of right where we are. And that's
great. So what percentage, you were saying, if most of your cars are landing right in that teen range, what percentage of those would you say are cash purchases over people getting loans from banks? Because you do seem like you're kind of in that spot where, yeah, there's probably some people who could just straight out pay 10 or 12 or 15 grand for a car. And then there's the rest of the world that still has to finance something like that. Where do you guys land?
So month to date, for example, we're only 6 off. We're at 22 finance, 16 cash.
That's strong. Is that normal?
Yeah. Last month we were, 58 and 35, but I pulled last year we were at 6 624 finance and 447 cash.
All right. What was that what was the finance deal? I'm sorry.
It was 624 and 447.
Okay.
Okay.
So
You
we
know,
do an awful lot of
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Does that change since interest rates have gone up, or is it always been that?
It's, to be honest, it's always been just about there.
What do y'all?
We do a lot of, when people ask, I mean, we do our fair share of finance, but I mean, most of these dealers, they want a finance deal. We like all the deals, finance, we like cash, we like them all.
Yeah.
Have you, what is the average interest rate that you're seeing right now with customers that are financing?
Hey, everybody, real quick, make sure you guys are signed up for Buy Here, Pay Here United 2024, happening April 23rd through the 25th at the Bellagio in Las Vegas.
Gonna be a lot of fun, Jeff. You and I are going to be wrapping up every day, going back over the things everybody learned during class. There's a Spanish track, there's an English track. There are a lot of great speakers, a lot of dealers trying to teach you how to do it their way. And these dealers are really, really solid operators. You'll learn a lot. You'll meet us. You'll get to hang out, be in Vegas, and we'll see you there. What is the average interest rate that you're seeing right now with customers that are financing?
Your prime buyers are, 8 to 9%. The lowest rates that I've seen are in the 7s, and that's not even considered, couple years ago, that wasn't considered low.
Right, yeah.
No, yeah.
Our number one bank right now is Capital One.
Capital One. Yeah. Capital One is who's probably given us our best prime buyers.
That's prime, I guess, what you're seeing in those 8 to 9. I mean, what are so-called subprime rates right now?
We're seeing, mid to upper teens, through some of those, and some of those lenders we have to go to like finance companies. That's when you step into a different, tier.
You're talking about lower, like local shops to get those bought.
I think like
your Landmark Financials, your One Main Financials, your professionals, those kind of things.
Yeah.
Have you noticed any kind of a general tightening even across the board between the prime and the subprimes? Are they getting harder to underwrite? Are they scrutinizing your deal more?
Not necessarily. I would say there's one of our lenders in South Carolina. They only do South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. We have seen them kind of tighten the reins on just overall approvals. Capital One, they haven't. Their deals are pretty much straightforward. They haven't tightened the reins. They haven't. The only thing that we've seen from Cap One is just the rate hikes. But I mean, that's not just us. But the deals are pretty straightforward.
Have you lost any big lenders in the last 12 months?
No, we haven't lost any. We lost that Wells Fargo deal. I think I said something about that, but that's
2020.
It's been a while ago.
Yeah. I think Wells Fargo just got out. Yeah.
Independence. They got out of Independence, but but nobody else.
We haven't lost anybody.
That's interesting because I think that probably shows that y'all have been around long enough to weather the storm. So nobody's getting too crazy. Hubert, what do you see on the wholesale side? Cars easier to buy than they were this time last year?
I don't know. I think I went a little crazy. I mean, if you saw my lot right now, there's cars everywhere.
Same here.
Okay. So we're trying to fix them all. But yeah, I bought a lot going into this, and we've sold pretty good. But I have definitely noticed in the last like I was in Orlando yesterday, in Jacksonville, two sales I go to, and I didn't get a car, and I would have normally gotten 13 or 14 cars out of that, just because, well, one, like I've got a lot of cars, so I'm not gonna reach for them as much as I might have, just because I've got a lot I need to sell. So, and today now, my local sale, I think I ended up at 8, and they were mostly cheaper cars. I think I got one Volvo that was like in the 19 range, but everything else was probably under 10. So I felt good to be able to get that, but it was a big sale today. They had a bunch of cars and a bunch, it was a promotion sale. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm still buying. I'm addicted. So even if they're high, I'm like, well, that's shiny. I don't know.
That's
It's fine.
It's
I
on
tell
sale.
people, yeah, I tell
Yeah.
people all the time, like, oh, you don't like to go to Vegas and gamble? I go, no, I like buying cars. That's gambling enough for me. But what's interesting is you said, okay, you were buying in Orlando yesterday and you didn't get a car. I bought in Florida yesterday and I bought 8 cars. That it's so funny how perception. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
You were at Central, probably. You were probably buying at Central because I talked to a lot of people that ended up buying there. But at the Odessa one, was it Central that you were buying off of?
Well, I bought in Tampa and I bought Central yesterday afternoon. So
Yeah. Okay.
it's super interesting how that works. But
I think it was a little better there. I don't know.
So
I was in a Tesla lane, and it was
that Tesla
insane in
lane's
a
always
Tesla lane.
hard. Yeah.
what I find is it's a lot mentality of the buyer, right? Like
Mhm.
like you're saying, Hubert, like if you feel like you have enough cars, you're looking for deals. Either I need a deal on a car, or I'm okay buying the cheap stuff because for 4 or 5 grand, I can't go wrong, right? I'll buy those all day long.
Oh
And
yeah,
maybe
you're
went in with the
okay.
mentality of like, hey, I got 50 grand in my wallet. I need to take home 8 cars. It's tax time. I would rather buy now than in 4 weeks when everything's definitely going through the roof, like it always does. I need to stock up now on some holes that I have in my inventory. And I find that right now for myself, I'm only buying like 1 or 2 makes and models right now. And I'm not looking at anything else because I've got a lot that's bursting at the seams. So I'm not desperate. So I'm only looking for deals, and I'm not willing to step up on anything. If someone, they hit me back with a counter or something, I'm just, no, I'm not going to overpay right now. So I think it's mentality that we get in as dealers.
Yeah. I think, and this is one thing we're figuring out really fast and really hard. Around COVID, the $20,000 plus cars, you could sell them. I mean, we didn't have any issues. And I guess again, it's coming back to the interest rates. Now, $20,000 car, I'm trying not to buy those. It's just like it's a harder sell than it used to be. It was so easy before, but now, just adjusting. It's kind of like, and I'll talk to John a lot of times. I'll look at what they did that day, and then that'll kind of help me figure out what I need to do. And if I can't get online and see what they did that day, I'll call them and say, hey, what have y'all sold? What have y'all got deposits on? Then, especially if they got a deposit on that certain car, I mean, you'll try to find a replacement for that car. Vans for us right now, wouldn't say vans are super hot.
Yeah.
Odysseys, if you can get Odysseys, they seem to be what people are wanting for us. And I'll tell you this. I mean, I don't mind telling my secrets. So right now, Mustangs and Chargers, man, we cannot keep a Mustang or a Charger. It's been fun, but we're out of.
I can't keep Chargers. I can keep Mustangs, but it's so interesting, Vans, and I don't even buy them anymore. But so we're all kind of trying to stock up, and I did stock up, and I'm still buying leading into tax season here. And that's one of the things we want to talk about. And all three of us can weigh in on this. Hubert, what is your preparation for tax season like when it comes to the inventory side? And what are we doing? What should we be doing? John, what do you feel like from people shopping? Are they waiting on tax money? Have they gotten tax money? Where are we right now on February 15th?
I think as far as inventory goes, and I told my guys, yes, we're going to be buying less cars, but what we do need to do, since we're not going to have enough cars to work on so much, we need to be getting on those cars, checking them out, starting them, driving them, getting them ready, because you don't want to sell 15 cars in a day and have half of them, get clogged up in the service end. So that's what we're trying to do right now. Is just kind of get prepared. It's like the Boy Scouts always say, be prepared. I mean, I try to always, to look at that and walk a lot. So that's,
Hubert,
I would say that. Go ahead.
Give it to me in a number. What day supply do you have a goal you're shooting for? Because it looks like you got about 140 on your website.
Yeah.
146. And if you're selling about 100 a month, do you have another 50 in the back that are getting ready? So you got about a 2 month supply right now?
No, not at all. We've got probably, I would say, 20 maybe at the body shops and different. That's what's killing us, is the body shop stuff. That's what takes.
So you've stocked up to about a 45-day supply. Say probably. You sell 100 on average. Yeah. Luke, where are you at right now?
60 day.
You're at a 2-month supply. I'm closer to like a 3-month supply, which is why I stopped buying, because I just ran out of money. I got nowhere to park them.
Yeah.
But so Hubert, yeah. So I mean, you sell a high volume where, yeah, you are running a little thin as far as maybe compared to Luke and I, but still, I would say a 45-day supply is respectable.
Yeah. I would say when I look at the lot, we sell a lot in, and one thing that we end up doing a lot, and I'm sure everybody does this, but we'll sell a car in the back. So, the guys we got one guy that loves to sell out of the back before they get out of the out
So he's
front.
selling them off the truck.
Yeah, he's selling them before I even buy them.
John, how do you feel about that?
I mean, he moves cars.
Yeah.
It's
This guy
okay.
moves some cars. Oh yeah.
All right.
I mean, he is. This guy is literally trying to put somebody in a car. The moment it hits the ground.
You gotta love that.
Like, oh yeah.
Yeah, we love that. Yeah. All I was going to say with that, I was kind of going, is that we've got a lot of those cars already up front, So we've got more detailers. We actually got we're at 4 detailers right now. And that was always our kind of one thing that kind of held us back. So we do, I would say one thing that we're ready for tax season is we've never had this much staff. We've got 3 technicians, and a tire guy and 4 detailers, and so we're in a good shape going into
that allows Hubert to be more free in buying, because now we have the people to get through them. So instead of them bottlenecking from service to detail, they're coming up to us at a more consistent pace, which allows us to sell them quicker.
That still doesn't sound like enough for 100 cars a month.
So I was about to bring that up. But what's so funny is I have 6 technicians for, let's say, 40 cars a month being sold. Now, I guess one thing, what I've always noticed is that buy here, pay here is a lot more labor intensive than retail. We're also selling our service contracts and this, that, and other. But what'd you say, 3 or 4 techs? How many techs?
Really, it's 2 and a tire guy. And I got that. Remember we talked about my other guy, Justin.
Yeah.
He's kind of like making sure they're staying together.
Man.
I mean, it's
It's wild up here sometimes.
I don't see how y'all do it.
I know. I mean, I listen to y'all and I'm like, okay. I sometimes, like I've told y'all before, I don't think they're doing enough, but shouldn't be complaining.
They're doing a ton.
We run them ragged from the sales side. I know. With getting through the stuff that Hubert buys, and then us harping on them to hurry up and get through them because we've already got them sold. Like they do a good job.
They do. And it's been, and speaking of the back end again, it's been trouble hiring. I've struggled with one. I always had one good tech and tried to get another tech, and I just couldn't. Finally, one showed up 2 months ago, and he's been great. So we're excited. So it takes the strain off of me, because when I'm, like I said, where we're at is my shop where I'll do my work, usually electrical diag. Now I'm pretty much free to just buy. So it's been a blessing.
So if you are running a buy here, pay here, and even if you're running a retail operation and you need someone to process your credit card payments, the guys at Blytzpay are great. I just barely switched over my whole buy here, pay here portfolio to Blytzpay, and I have had 0 pushback from customers. People are delighted with the ease of payment. We simply send them a text with a link. They click the link, and that's their wallet with all their cards, and they hit pay. They can set up their own auto pay. It's really been an incredibly smooth transition. And I was scared. I was very, very nervous about switching my credit card processor, right? Because all of a sudden you have to set everyone up on auto pays, and you got to get everyone familiar with it and comfortable. But this is honestly the easiest transition for our customers that I think it's actually improved and helped our collections, because it's been so easy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the case in point. We switched a year ago. We had immediate buy-in and ease from our customers to use the platform. My collectors bought in and learned how to use their collection platform a little better. It's just a help to IDMS or whatever DMS you're using, to get your collectors a little more involved and get your customers a little more involved, and to get your payments processed.
Yeah, and you found a way to do it where you've actually saved a ton of money, right? Because you revamped your payment policies and your late fees and things like that. So
Yep.
it's a good time to look at that, guys. Call the folks over at Blytzpay. Let them know that the Independent Dealer Podcast sent you, and you will get 3 months of free software and 3 months of free cash network. So their
That's
cash
a big
network's
saving.
coming out. Yeah, where your customer can go to any, 7-Eleven, CVS, a bunch of retail locations. They can scan a barcode, give the teller the cash for their payment, and it gets deposited into your account. So it's a cool deal. So they're doing the 3 free months of software, 3 free months of cash network for our listeners when you mention that you heard it here at the Independent Dealer Podcast. Okay, so Hubert, what I'm curious is before we get onto the retail side, talking about tax returns and things like that, one more question on the buying side. Do you feel like you're stocking up right now where, prices are, still kind of affordable, based on all the MMR retention data, like we're still where we normally are year over year. And then, of course, going into week 10, 11, 12, people start getting desperate as the tax money flows and everyone starts overpaying for cars just to stock their lots. What's your philosophy? Are you buying a bunch of cars now because they're cheap and then you just stop buying in March, or are you kind of a consistent buy a little bit each week?
Yeah, like I know a guy who does that, buy here, pay here. They buy all and then they just kind of quit. Now I pretty much keep buying, and I just don't. I never really stop. I just get a lot fewer cars, probably like y'all. I mean, it's just like you're not buying a ton of cars, and then usually you get through it and you get your lots pretty much decimated. Hopefully, that's our goal. We don't have a museum. We don't want these to stick around. We want them gone. So then in May, usually, it's kind of starts to slow down May and June and but I really never stop. I kind of try to keep going.
And I think that's a good philosophy to have. I try to buy as many as I can leading in because I know it's just like you're talking about. You're not going to be able to buy very many. You're going to have to freaking search and search and search and get lucky and to buy, for 8 weeks. I mean, almost. Right?
It kind of seems like those are the two philosophies, right? Like if you're a buy here, pay here dealer, it's just buy low, sell high. And it doesn't matter what it is or when or who or when. Like, I mean, I've got cars I've been sitting on for 365 days, right? Like, eventually I'm going to find a butt for that seat. I don't care.
That's right.
But if you're retail, it's all about turn time, right? And you're going to chase the market up and you're going to chase the market down. And you're just going to ride those waves because your turn time is so fast that's the only way to survive, it seems like, in the retail world. I don't know.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. What we do, this is, and everybody does it, but what we try to do is and John's, I mean, I buy once a week, maybe twice a week or every 2 weeks. I'll just start looking and we'll see what's old, what's old, what's getting just no interest in it. And then we'll just slash them. And sometimes I'll freak them out. They got to go get more numbers because we sticker our cars. They're like, dude, we need to call the guy, get more numbers. Because sometimes we'll cut 39 cars.
He'll do a third of the lot. Just out of the blue.
And it makes a huge difference. Two things we've noticed. I mean, in 2 weeks, I would say not always, but in 2 weeks, we sold half those 49 cars.
Just because of a price change.
Just because of a price change.
And how much do you change them, Hubert?
It all depends. I kind of look at cost and look at what the markup, and if some of them had a big markup, I'll get to $2,000 over whatever. Some of them it'll be negative, like all of us, but it just depends. But yeah, most of them get cut. I'd say $1,000 to $1,500.
Yeah, some of them, like we everybody instantly goes back to their notebook, customer notebook, be like, look, man, like this thing just came down $2,000, or and generate some interest again.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry. Yeah.
Y'all had me thinking about how many age units I have, and I don't over 90 days, and I've got 115 cars available. Over 90 days, I only have 24. So I kind of feel a little good about myself.
Yeah, you're probably better shape than we are.
We don't have a ton. We got a couple lingering units, but
you're like me. I'm sure when you buy a certain car, you're like, dude, this car's not going to last.
Yeah, and it always sits there forever.
Yeah, it can or
It's
not.
the opposite. Yes, it is always the opposite.
But,
Something that's going to sit forever moves quick.
Yeah, and we got a lot of duplicates. We just like certain cars. We'll know I think you've seen. We had a lot of Jettas. So we've actually got through some of the Jettas, but yeah, just
Yeah.
keep it going, keep it rolling. If they're not selling, let's cut them. Yeah.
Yeah. And John, are you seeing a lot of customer interest for tax season? Have they been talking about it? What are you seeing?
To be quite honest, no, we haven't even really heard the word tax season much at all.
Huh.
And I'd say over the last couple of years, it's been kind of much of the same. It's like we talk it up a little more than what we actually see. We see pretty much a consistent. We may see an influx of phone traffic, foot traffic, that kind of thing, but nobody's really talking much about tax season.
I wonder if it's because y'all sell so many cars in regular months that you're not seeing a big bump during tax season, but you're seeing tax money. What do you think about that, Jeff? You think that could be a possibility? Jeff, we talk about it every week. We've been talking about it for years. If you don't have a reinsurance company set up, you got to do it. You got to call Buckeye Dealership Consultant today. I had a dealer reach out last week. Hey, what is DPI you're talking about? Guys, it's CPI. And it's a game changer. That's all I can tell you. It's a game changer for you buy here, pay here dealers out there. I know it's hard for me to understand what I'm saying, but CPI, collateral protection insurance, is key if you want your buy here, pay here dealership to run properly, and Buckeye's a place to get it set up for you.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I can't speak to that a lot. I know that as far as tax money goes, it's only people that have gotten refund advances at this point, HMI block cards, things like that.
Yeah.
Because, we, outside of our tax max deals, I've not seen a physical tax return, refund yet. But I think understandable, right? We're still a couple weeks out.
Yeah, I mean, it's coming. So, I mean, just sit and relax, everybody out there, because the money's coming. I hope it is. If not, Jeff, you may have to find a new co-host because I got a bunch of money on the line on this one.
Yeah. It's the gambling that we do when we get in this business. Like you said, it's just the gamble. Every you're going to win something. I mean, I wholesaled a car today. I think I lost $3,500 on it, but I learned a lesson. I'm not buying any escapes.
I had a couple of those last year. I don't like to talk about them.
Yeah. It seems like when you're dealing with that retail, again, it's the turn time, right? And that's so crucial to just take your lumps, take your losses if you have to, and just turn the car, when it's time.
And sometimes what happens, I mean, what happened to me a couple of times last year is I kept putting money in a car that I thought that finally was going to fix it, and it never would fix. And you can't sell that car to a customer because you know exactly what's going to happen, right? So you just go, you know what? Somebody else can have this beautiful piece for the right money and hopefully get it fixed, because I'm done with it.
Yeah, we had that with the Kia and an engine, and we were like, we thought we could fix the engine, and it ran great till he took it on a test drive, and it blew up again. So it blew up twice. So we're like, bye bye.
Yeah, it gives all the guys up front a little bit of a little gun shyness of
was it
a customer.
What by chance was it a Kia Soul? Because Jeff loves those.
No, it wasn't. Kia Souls are actually good. Sorry.
No, you can't say that.
Kia Souls are
great for us.
It's the ones that. So what we figured out is the ones with the 2.4. For some reason, those are the bad ones, and they don't rarely put those in the Souls. So it's something about that 2.4 engine.
Man, I can't believe you just did that to me.
No, we probably have. How many Souls?
We got. We sold two Souls already this week.
You're missing the boat, Luke. You could be selling Souls, man.
All right. Well,
yeah, you could.
Hey, the Souls only need cats. Like that's all.
We do a lot of cats.
We like that.
Rock Auto, baby. Rock Auto at our place every day. So
that's funny.
I think you guys you do point out something we need to make clear to everyone listening is you guys have a niche, right? You have, even though, you're not buy here, pay here, you're not this, you're not, you're retail, but you have a price point and that price point and who your customer is and you're staying right in that teen range because you can finance it. People can pay cash. You've decided to kind of play both sides. Whereas there's other dealers that are like, look, we only want to do off lease, right? We only want to do as low miles as possible. And we're going to chase everything from 20 grand to 50 grand. I think it's a lot of dealers that get lost is when they go into the no man's land, and they got some buy here, pay here over there, and they got some retail and they got some 50 grands and they got some 5 grands and they're just buying everything that's shiny and looks good. I think you guys have weathered any kind of a storm for that reason, right? I mean, you kind of know who you are and your customers know who you are, and to sell 100 cars a month, I mean, that's an accomplishment in that.
Doing something right. And Hubert, did you ever join a 20 group, or you still?
No, still not.
He's too busy. Yeah, we gotta get him by cars.
It's all that record keeping y'all have to do and all that homework. I'm like, oh, I don't know. Yeah, I know it would be fun, dude. But possibly in the future, whatever. Yeah. But yeah, it's
cool. Well, to wrap this up, guys, any other words of wisdom or advice you'd have for dealers listening? Things you're seeing out in the market or strategies you're taking?
I would say just keep buying. Like when even when, and that's one thing I could say is when even when it's slow, because we do have slow days. We'll have days we don't sell a lot, and it's just to keep buying. Just keep buying, because that's the gasoline for what we do. I mean, even when you don't want to buy and you're like, oh, I don't know, but just keep buying.
So it may be slow for a week, throughout the month, but it's not going to be slow forever.
And you'll have those 10-car days and you're like, wow, okay, dang, I need to get busy. So if you don't buy, it just slows. For us, it messes everything up. They don't have enough cars to work on. They'll get caught up. And I don't know. It's just, it's like being on the razor's edge, trying to balance a bunch of different things. It keeps me up at night, but it's part of it.
I think that's very, very good, good knowledge there. One of my best friends in the car business, Eric Freeman, I asked him one time, I said, Eric, when do you know you bought enough cars? When do you stop buying? And he says, I've never had enough cars. And I mean, he's selling 250 a month. He's like, yeah, I just never had enough cars. And I think that's how you have to live. You have to live wide open, buy, because we're gonna sell them. We're gonna sell these cars.
The goal is to keep Hubert gone. If Hubert is gone, that means he's buying. That means we're selling. So the goal is to keep him out of here.
Yeah, that's right.
Y'all got some deep pockets. Jeez Louise, man.
Well, I mean, again, the Lord's blessed us. I mean, I think I said this earlier. I never expected to be, selling this many cars. My only goal was to get a swimming pool and to take weekends off. So it's been good. So
I don't know what a weekend is. So
yeah, he's right. Well, yeah, he's working weekend. We're trying to implement where they can take more time off, but yeah, it's kind of a bad thing. We're definitely open on Saturdays. I mean, we thought about maybe trying to close Saturdays, but it just doesn't.
After the last two Saturdays we have, I may institute back to Saturdays. But
you're opening again?
Well, we open February or March, and man, the last two Saturdays have been great. So I'm just like,
I don't understand that. People are off work. That's when they buy cars.
I know.
It's the craziest thing, though. I mean, we can have a beautiful day and it be nothing.
That's right.
So we'll take what we can get, but we're here. We're here and ready.
Yeah.
Well, Hubert, John, thank you guys so much. Appreciate your time. I know you're short-staffed. I got to get back to it, man. I hope you didn't miss out on sales or get further behind.
No, anytime we could talk to y'all, man.
We appreciate you having us.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you for listening. Please leave us a review. We'll catch you in the next episode.